Welcome to the service. Today's video is the first in a series, in a Donald Trump series. A lot of people are caught up in that Donald Trump cult. People are calling it a cult, and a lot of people are caught up. And I'm gonna give you guys the methodology of how you got brainwashed. So make sure you send this to one of them. And a lot of people said, Amish, leave them. They're nothing. Why do you help them? They are so foolish, those people. I said, hey, they are also in the community, okay? And they deserve our loving kindness and they deserve our compassion. You can't kill them all. There's too many. And they have the guns, okay? Listen, whether you're one of those people who got duped or you're trying to build a loyal following for your business or personal brand, I'm going to give you the tips, tricks, and tactics that had these people saying... That's okay. That doesn't make sense. Let's try another one. I'm going to give you the tips, tricks, and tactics that had these people say... We tell you work for us! Okay, well, you don't want anyone saying that, so that's okay. I'm going to give you...
Bill Gates wants you guys down.
Australia has returned to becoming a prison island all over again. It's now a new penal colony as a prison.
You get the idea, all right? We're just going to teach you the brainwash tactics. That's what the video is, okay? But before we get started, do your karmas. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and on my count, we're going to hit the notification bell, and we're going to start this spiritual service in 3, 2, and...
Stacey Blatt was in hospice care last September listening to Rush Limbaugh's dire warnings about how badly Donald J. Trump's campaign needed money when he went online and chipped in everything he could. $500. It was a big sum for a 63-year-old battling cancer and living in Kansas City on less than $1,000 per month. But that single contribution, federal records show it was his first ever, quickly multiplied. Another $500 was withdrawn the next day, then $500 the next week, and every week through mid-October without his knowledge until Mr. Blatt's bank account had been depleted and frozen. When his utility and rent payments bounced, he called his brother for help. What the Blatts soon discovered was $3,000 in withdrawals by the Trump campaign in less than 30 days. They called their bank and said they thought they were the victims of fraud. So
no laughing, don't laugh at him. Don't you laugh at him. Imagine your Babaji jacked you like that. Imagine your Babaji stole all your money. Imagine you spent the last 5 years saying, no, my Babaji's great. No, my Babaji's the most honest man in the world. He's saving the world. He's great. I'm going to give him my last $500. My Babaji's so great. Imagine you spent the last 5 years doing that, and then you got jacked. No laughing, and I don't want to hear it. Okay? Not my students. If I'm out, if anyone in the community says that one of my students was laughing, hey, stop it. Not after this video. You will not laugh. My dad would have sent money, $20, but he would have made me do it. You know what I mean? Like, we went to Trump University. My dad would have sent $20. I can just imagine the conversation. My dad would say, send $20 to this Trump thing. And then I'd say, Dad, it's not even for the election. It's for the reversal of the election. No way. No, you don't send money for that. And then he says, hey, what if Joe Biden stole the election? And we said Biden did nothing? No, send $20, so then we did our karmas.
A New York Times investigation revealing the alarming extent and reach of a calculated Trump campaign scheme to get supporters signed up for recurring donations by default, and later adding a second pre-check box to double a donor's contribution.
All of us, our parents are getting older, right? And these grifts, this is exactly the kind of stuff that seniors, they'll fall for this, okay? Seniors will fall for this shit, okay? And if a lot of you guys are like me, your parents are leaving you money, you got to protect that investment. You got to protect that investment. There's some sharks out here trying to get their money. The senior scam sharks, they're trying to get the seniors' money. I don't know how much you're making at work, but the ROI on protecting them might be higher. The check mark looks like it's just a bullet point. Because some websites, they use a checkbox as a bullet point. President Trump, congrats. You've been selected as our end of quarter MVP. Join the Cash Blitz now and make it official. They put a whole speech in there. And then in fine print, they put, donate an additional $100 automatically.
In the fall or the late summer, as the Trump campaign faced financial pressures, they made a really important change, which is they took that box and instead of taking donations out every month, they began taking them out every week.
I've been doing a show about con artists on the internet for like a year now. Get rich quick schemes, con artists. And this upgrade to a weekly donation scam, I've never seen anything like it. Like someone who you think would move up to presidency and then maybe get a little slack on the scamming. But he's scamming harder than you know what I mean? Like this is almost like, you know when you watch March Madness and it's all those high school, those college players. But then when they go to the NBA, like it's more chill. Like they're not running, they're not running that hard. He's president of the United States, but he's playing like it's NCAA. He's running for every dollar.
From the period of mid-October through December of 2020, the Trump campaign and the RNC made more than 530,000 refunds.
This is what I love about American politics. It's so cutthroat that the whole story is like Trump had to refund $122 million. Biden, a human being, a nice person, only scammed $21 million, only had to do a $21 million worth of returns. It's so cutthroat that they're just like, of course, we're not stupid. We're not like those Canadian poos. I remember when Trudeau gave his mom $300,000. I was telling some American conservatives like, hey, there's a Trudeau scandal. And they're like, oh yeah, what did he do? And I said, he gave his mom $300,000. And these guys go, oh, $300,000, what is it, Canadian? Oh, go easy on the guy. This is how Trump responded to the story. In yet another highly partisan story, the failing New York Times just throws it in there. Except for massive voter fraud, this was a campaign that was easily won by your favorite Republican president of all time, me. So this is how he does his apology. Many people were so enthusiastic that they gave over and over again. He's talking about gave campaign contributions over and over again. And in certain cases where they would give too much, we would promptly refund their contributions. And my fans love me so much, they gave me too much money. And then I said, hey, take a little back. Hey Jim, you gave $500. Listen, I'm sending back $50. Come on, you don't have the money for this. Come on, what are you doing? A lot of people are just kind of saying, this is what you get. A lot of lefties are saying, this is what you get. You backed this guy who's a psycho, and he got you all riled up on some racist shit, on some like foreigners are going to destroy our country. I'm going to build a wall to keep out foreigners. You pick a guy like that, and then he got you, didn't he? And then he frauded you. A lot of people want to gloat. A lot of people want to talk shit. Now's not the time for gloating and talking shit. Now's the time for forgiveness, loving kindness. That's what you have to do. It's the only way. And look, don't get mad at me, okay? This isn't my rules. This is God's rules, okay? It's not my rules, okay? I'm just a TA here at Enlightenment University. I don't make the rules. These are God's rules. I just got my degree in Buddhism from Harvard, University. And also I just attended the Udimai International Ashram. And I studied with a lot of great Babajis at Udimai. Okay, Eckhart Tolle, I have Eckhart Tolle's certificate. I have Stephen Hassan's anti-cult certificate. I have Matt Kahn's pretty much a loving kindness class with Matt Kahn. When I say give them forgiveness, loving kindness, what I mean is in the world of God, you have to forgive and you have to give them loving kindness. But in the world of Caesar, you got to lock them up. You got to lock them up. But when I say give them forgiveness, loving kindness, what I mean is when you're locking them up, you can't just, hey, idiot. Yeah, you really love that Trump, you dumbass. You can't do that. You just want to punch him in the rib one time just to let him know or smack him on the head? Not allowed. Ha, I told you. Not allowed. You can't do I told you so. I told you so is a sin. I'm not saying you don't put him in jail, but I'm saying let them watch Netflix. Right? Why does that bother you? What? You still have your Netflix. You can still watch Netflix, but they should also be able to watch Netflix, hang out. You got to look at them as someone who made a mistake. You joined a little cult. You just have to see that they're taking a step in the right direction. You say, hey man, I know you got caught up in that thing, but it looks like you're taking a step in the right direction, and that's great. A step away from that cult shit, that cult, Trump cult, is a step up, and I support you, and you got to come out of that. That's great. That's great. You know what? It's a step up, and that's all that matters. I mean, you took like 50 steps down over the last 5 years when you joined this Trump shit. You took like 50 steps down, and you probably rock bottom, and there's probably nowhere else to go but a step up. But nonetheless, you took a step up, and good for you, and welcome back to the family, and God is great. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Watch your parents. Protect your investments. You know what's crazy? I went to Trump University because my dad bought Trump University, and he made me go. And because I went to Trump University, last year, I went on Steven's show to talk about that video, to talk about my experience at Trump University. That has 200,000 hits. Then the community loved me so much that they said, please, please, please bring Babaji back. Please, please bring Babaji back. The whole community said. So now we have a show called The Drip. Because of The Drip, now I'm doing this channel. And I just applied to be on The Bachelor, to be on The Bachelor Paradise. And I put all of that in the, hey, why should you be on The Bachelor? I put all of that shit. Trump University, now I do this podcast. It's all in there. So if I get on Bachelor now, dude, and then imagine from Bachelor, like I'm married to some model or something, because it's all like hot people in there. And then imagine after I go on The Bachelor, I have kids. Then my dad's gonna be like, oh, well, maybe the Trump University was a good idea.